Okay, so let's talk about, and you probably have seen the Charlie Kirk talking about birth control, triggering everybody, which then turned into, I don't want to name names, but there were many female, like right-wing commentators who were very upset today or angry that men were commenting on birth control, and it turned into this.
Women should do whatever they want to do, and men don't have anything to say about it. Just as men have to do what they want to do, and women don't have anything to say about it. We have different roles. Men are supposed to be providers, but they must gain latitude in their providing. If a man is doing his due diligence, he's making the money, he's supportive, he's protective, let him do his own thing. As long as he's not fucking around or something like that. With women, let them do their own thing as well. Yeah, I do not believe in MGTOW. I also don't believe in misandry. Men and women are supposed to uphold one another.
I think that what's interesting is, and I don't disagree with that, I think that people have their own agency to make their own decisions.
Exactly.
Particular, the birth control conversation is not something I care about. It's if a woman wants to take it, she's welcome to. I think just with any prescription, just know that there may or may not be side effects. I'm not a doctor, but I think there are women that will say, there are some negative things that can happen to you when you're taking birth control for a prolonged time.
Yes, there is. Basically, it evens you out if you're female. So you don't get as low a low, and you don't get as high a high. Whereas if you're not on birth control, like when you're ovulating, you're going to get a real big high. When you're on your period or shortly before with PMS, depending, it'll be a really low low. What the birth control pill does is it modulates it, and it can actually cause a mental effect. Yes,
and it helps.
That is fundamentally true.
Yeah, and then I remember some girls like to get their skin clears up a little bit from it, but essentially this brought out the repeal the 19th bros, which Cernovich commentated on. I'm not a fan of that. I think women should vote. Hey guys out there, believe it or not, putting down on women and saying that they should be second-class citizens ain't gonna get you a date. Yeah. Those cottagecore chicks are not going to respect you for having that opinion. Just saying. Which leads me to this, which is a perfect transition. I won't play the whole thing, but I can tell from the problem glasses that this is going to be funny. Well, no, it's actually not. It's not. Well, I mean, it might be. It's funny, not. But it's Savannah Hernandez. I don't know if you're familiar with her work. No. But she basically comments on essentially kind of what we're saying. I'm just going to play a little bit of it because I thought my apologies, Serena. Yeah, no worries.
All right, I vowed to never break my silence on this issue because it's so vitriolic, but the time has come, especially since we're seeing a lot of the commentary surrounding birth control, and once again, women not being in their prime in their 30s, but being in their prime in their 20s. Now, these are both sentiments that I actually agree with. However, and this is a PSA for all men on the right wing, we really need to work on our delivery of our messaging to women. There is a reason why women are leaning more towards liberalism and men are leaning more towards conservatism. And there is a reason why men are drawn more to that Andrew Tate-esque style of commentary and women are averse to it, because guess what? Men and women are different. Now, I completely agree with all of these sentiments of women should be mothers as soon as possible. They should stay at home with the family as opposed to being in corporate life. I agree with the sentiment that birth control is bad for us. It's bad for our brains, and it changes our physical and mental structure, essentially. I do agree with the sentiment that we need strong men in society and that feminism is a lie that a lot of women have fallen for. I agree with all of that. But to every single right-winger who is talking about these issues, I notice this pattern where they try to talk to women like they talk to men. And that's why we're losing a lot of women in the right wing, because guess what? Women aren't men, and you can't talk to women the same way you talk to men.
I don't disagree with her.
No, yeah, no, definitely. You sometimes you can't talk to women at all. You know?
Yeah, yeah. That's true.
Just saying.
Yeah, I noticed that there is this like the repeal the 19th bros, which I don't think are real conservatives.
Oh, the MGTOW MRA thing, I just fucking hate it. It's like, yes, I understand. Okay, there is a differential within the legal system, right? We both recognize
Family
that.
law.
Everyone out there recognizes it. There is definitely a differential. Men differentially get screwed by the legal system when it comes to divorce, when it comes to child support, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That does not mean that women are responsible for that.
Correct.
Men designed that system. A bunch of weak, pathetic, liberal men designed that system. It weren't women.
Yeah.
Look at the judges that made those decisions. 90% of them were male. They have dicks.
And white. Yeah, that's a hot take, but it's true.
Absolutely true.
It's a fact that
well, I mean, some of them may have wore different hats too, but we won't get into that more.
Yeah. But I mean, that's
for TOS reasons.
Yeah. The issue is, yes, I agree. Men, there are elements of like the men's rights movements as it pertains to family law. I 100% agree with. There are elements of it where it goes too far into like women are ruining every aspect of my life, and I feel like there are other reasons why people might feel that way.
Yeah, there are states that are highly misandristic. Vermont is one of them, actually. I mean, if you're a woman in this state, you've got a 90% chance of prevailing, even if you're wrong. It's sort of like having an argument with a woman,
Well, then it's closer to 100. But yeah. Well, in Wisconsin, it's like 50-50. There's no point in arguing, kind of thing. But you end up with, there are all sorts of men's issues you can talk about. But what I think is on the right in particular, men, we need women. First of all, we need women to win elections.
Yes.
No,
we need women for far more than that. Oh my God.
Right. And you know who does all these like phone call campaigns? You know who does a lot of the work behind the scenes? It's women. And so if you're going to be, I think what Sav is saying is simply like, hey, she's saying like, look, I don't disagree with a lot of this crap, but maybe don't be an asshole. Like, because women are different and they're going to feel some kind of way about it and they're going to get offended. I won't call anyone out in particular, but there was one large person on Twitter basically, and then they basically said like, I don't know, this is weird that Charlie Kirk's talking about birth control. And everyone's like, oh, you're a feminist, you're a fake conservative. Blah. I'm like,
how does acknowledging the relevance of women and their value and how delicious they are, how does that make you a feminist?
I don't know, and I hate it every time I see it. And it happens all the time.
Women are wonderful.
Yeah, I am a big fan of women. Yeah,
yeah, baby.
Yeah, Six and I are both woman appreciators.
69? Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite numbers. Yeah.
Jesus.
I think that there is this we're both certified feminists now, but there was this narrative.
I will defend women though. When they're being perved upon by like, old men and stuff, dressing in a skirt and pretending to be women and stuff like that. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Yeah,
Can you imagine them doing that 20 years ago? They would have been beaten to a bloody pulp, and they would have been dragged outside unconscious.
Well, yeah,
and that's what should. And disclaimer: I'm not exclaiming any violence or anything like that, but should happen. Yeah.
I imagine 20 years ago, a grown man being in the women's locker room, and like
they would get punched out.
Yeah, it would be it. It's one of those girls that walked outside.
Someone's boyfriend would have come in there and said, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
Yeah,
punched him in the face, and dragged him out, and left him on the concrete.
Right, and the cops never would have showed up. Like that's that's how that used to happen.
Although I don't directly believe in vigilantism or something like that, I gotta say, it might have been a better world.
Yeah,
we need to defend our women. We need to defend our wives and daughters much more than we do now.
Yeah, I think that you're going, and by the way, the flip side of that is I think you are going to see more vigilantism when it comes to this stuff. You're
good.
They don't have, well, I'm not going to shed any tears about it, but like there was a point where like, you know, live and let live. Guys like me were live and let live for a very long time. And then that opinion got taken advantage of.
Yeah, they're converting libertarians into a bunch of authoritarians, actually. They're managing to make people like me be more authoritarian.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it.
I hate it too. I hate feeling like some of the stuff I say, I'm like, wait, I wouldn't have said this a year ago, but dude, your dong's out in the women's locker room. What do you want me to do? Okay, we have to agree on something. Like, you can't do that.
It makes absolutely no sense that they're even pushing the issue because they know they'll lose. I'm actually trying to figure out exactly what they're hoping to gain by it. Because at some point it's like, okay, you've self-evidently lost. Quite clearly, even among the left. Goddamn, even the left barely supports you. What are you actually trying to do?
I used to think they were just trying to shift the Overton window, and they picked a few people. But it is now my personal opinion that most people, just talking about the locker room stuff, for example, most people who are trans either probably don't feel the need to invade other people's spaces. They change before the gym or after the gym, or they do this stuff. I think the ones that are doing it are just actual perverts.
I've known people personally who are trans.
Me too. And they don't do this stuff.
They don't perv on kids.
Yeah.
They don't go into the wrong locker room or anything. Like one of my high school friends, actually, I won't name names.
Yeah.
Was male and became trans. And I don't know if he ever had bottom surgery or not, but, you know, had boobs and looked female and stuff. Met him a couple of times after he effectively transitioned. He would never do anything with a child. He's not.
And I bet he didn't force himself on women either. Like,
yeah, he's not perving on anyone or anything like that. He would never do that. And so I feel sorry for people like that because it's like, I understand some people have gender dysphoria. I feel sorry for you. It is real. Your experience is real. I want the best for you. But then you've got these other retards that aren't transgendered at all, that simply put on a skirt and they go into the woman's locker room.
Right.
And there is no way that I'm ever in 1,000 years of hell, I will never be okay with that.